Hey guys, here with a new hero on Korean Lost Saga. This is Hero 139, Outboxer. It might be known as Shadowboxer. I don't have the official translation, but I'm going to refer to him as Outboxer since that's the style he uses. So, it is a regular hero. You can buy it with GP, pesos, balloons, whatever currency your server might use. So let's check him out here. It's 3-hit basics. Third hit will do a half feint. These have very deceptive range to them. You think it would be shorter on a boxer, but since he's using FLICKA jabs, which is a punch style, it does have pretty good range on these attacks here. So eat your heart out, championship boxer. So yeah, pretty nice. You have a 100-meter passive on your meter on your Outboxer. When you use your hold D, it will do a 4-hit combo. The 4th hit will launch. But more importantly, you'll go into the Hitman stance. You're probably familiar with this if you've ever seen Hajime no Ippo before. One of those characters in that uses the Hitman style. So you're sawing your left arm back and forth. When you're in this mode, you dash back and forth, shadow moving like. This uses 5 meter of your passive each time you use this, so you got to be aware of how often you shadow dash around. You're pretty much locked in one direction, so you can't like turn around and hit someone behind you unless you like jump out of it. You can actually jump out of it after a hit or two, so that's an interesting way to approach it. And of course it does extend your combos off your hold D, so when you use your hold D, you do this combo over and over, and make sure you don't drop it like I just did. But yeah, you can do this several times. I'm just scrubbing it up, however. It's not as hard as I'm making it look here, I'm just being scrubby. Alright, let's focus. Focus! Gotta speed them up a little bit. Oh, I ran out of passive, but yeah, you can do that many times. It's very easy to do. Towards the end of it, however, you might want to use your hold D, because that will do a different air effect on them. So yeah, use your hold D at the end, and it'll do like a big knockback, spin down, slam down kind of move there. So yeah, each time you use 2 of these attacks, these actually replace your basic attacks, so it's just a simple knockback on standing. But it will use 5 meter of your passive with each of these 1-2s, so keep that in mind. And if you want to get out of the shadowboxing mode, you can jump out of it, because if you hit your block button, you end up doing bobbing and weaving, which also uses your 5 meters of your passive meter. So if you expand this, it's basically like blocking. Let's go down here and show it off with the robot buddies down here. So show you the bobbing and weaving effect here. So you get up to someone, you gotta tap this each time. It's not like block where you gotta hold it down. But the plus side is you can probably repost pretty quickly, but it's a little bit tricky. But pretty much it's blocking. It's blocking. And you don't want to be blocking when you're in that mode, because it's going to be using your passive meter up. So yeah, that's the passive. Really hard to explain succinctly, but we tried to get through it. So yeah, let's move on. Dash attacks, 1-2, 2-hit dasher. First hit just does a simple flinch, and the second hit will do a nice long stun, so that's pretty nice there. Your basics, by the way, are liftable off of feints, which I didn't mention earlier, so that's one thing. Your dasher, if you followed up with the dasher again, can also do a nice slam down, so that is good for a quick edger if you just want to get them off the edge really quick. Just do that back to back. So yeah, pretty fair dasher there. Pretty fair. No hold D dasher or anything, however, so don't be surprised. He's got a pretty good skill set with just that passive mode already. Jump attack, very simple and straightforward. Very simple. It's just a simple punch out of the air. It's got pretty good range on it actually, but you can probably follow it up with your hold Ds for good pressure. So not too bad, but there's it's just simple. He's not meant to be in the air too much, but he's got pretty good air attack when all is said and done. Defensive capabilities, you do have a counter attack on Boxer. Outboxer, pardon me. I kept accidentally called him Boxer for a second there. So counterattack, very simple and straightforward. You slam someone down after a counter, so it's a pretty nice counter. Pretty nice. If you can get that on someone, more power to you, and you'll go into a nice juggle off that. You also have your trinket. Your trinket can prevent death. It can prevent you from getting gear stripped, and it does have like a deflect kind of status on it as well. So that's the defensive properties behind that. So pretty nice trinket there. Pretty nice. It's a little bit like Gato-Kutch's helmet, but it seems a little bit better. So weapon skill, when you trigger it, you do like a 3-hitter, and then you have a shadow following you around, which amplifies your other attacks. So basically you're getting 2 of your attacks with the weapon skill. I'm not sure if these are infinites with the weapon skill or not, but if they are, wow, that's going to be a lot of damage. So it does amplify your other attacks as well. It can amplify your jump attacks, which are kind of tricky. I don't know, maybe Maybe it's hard to land on FK with that, but yeah, you can do it with the dasher as well, the weapon skill. So that works pretty neatly. You can use it with your combos like that. Looks like it resets them. I'm not sure if it's infinite, guys. I'd have to test it on someone. But yeah, when you have the shadow out, it pretty much, you know, prevents people from falling when it hits someone. Looks like that's an infinite there too. That would be pretty crazy if that's an infinite. That's a lot of potential damage there. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, no knockdown with that shadow once he boxes with you. Armor skill. If you're familiar with Hajime no Ippo, this is the Dempsey roll. I like calling it the Dempsey roll. It's the Dempsey roll. Famous boxing ability, and popularized pretty much by Hajime no Ippo, but the way that version is done right there, it's pretty much right out of Hajime no Ippo. So very nice combo there. It does pick up grounded as well. It pulls people in with like that whirlwind as well, and you know, that knock up down and slam down. You can do some follow-ups with that with gears and stuff, but it's pretty much hard to follow it up with your normal attacks. So your helmet, you rush forward, hit someone, then you start hitting them so many times, and it's pretty crazy. He actually puts his hood down for this, so if you saw like the preview highlights video, he's actually putting headphones on while he does this, so that's why the hood disappears. That's not a bug. That's actually intended. So a good way to link these two abilities is to do your armor and then trigger your helmet skill. That really links up really nicely for him, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Really good knockback on the last hit as well. So really nice skill there. And your trinket, once again, it might be a strength buff as well. It might give you some other properties, like some extra strength on your hits, but primarily it seems defensive, like you deflect. It lasts a pretty good while as well. It's not locked when you trigger it either, so it's going to start recharging after you trigger it. So pretty good skill there, pretty good skill. I think you would probably want to go something more offensive though on this fella here. So yeah, guys, Outboxer is going to be a wild character. You know, it's going to be hard to fight if you're fighting someone who's pretty good with basics. They can pretty much pressure you off the ledge really well with the passive mode. And if they catch you with that hold D as well, you know, the hold D when they trigger it, I didn't mention it earlier, guys, but when you use your hold D in your passive mode, you actually use 15 of your passive, so keep that in mind. I'm sorry for not mentioning that before. But yeah, you can use it when you have really low passive still, despite not having enough meter. So yeah, main goal is to get this long combo, carry people towards an edge and edge them, try not to drop the combos like I'm doing a whole lot. Go away, Quest. Trying to do these combos. That Quest box, it killed my momentum. Here we go. I lost it after 14 hits, but you can get a lot more hits than that. You just got to keep it quick, keep the pace right, and you can do it. The jump attacks are pretty fair. You know, it's got pretty good stuff there. The dash attacks are really good as well. You know, it's got a lot of edging capability on this character as well. I really like the weapon skill too. That's pretty nuts, especially if that's an infinite. That's insane pressure. Very insane pressure. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Outboxer is going to be a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, the Inboxer can get himself a nice evolution eventually to give this guy a run for his money, and then we can have a true Hajime no Ippo showdown. So thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you next time.